This is Reality Dispatch, written by Jim Mintz.
I threw mine higher than Tiberius. I wanted to make it harder for him to catch. He always surprised me with his abilities. He could catch anything, despite being a good 3 years younger. I feel like I couldn't grasp the bones all at once until I was in my 9th year. He is only in his 9th, or maybe he is in his 10th. I do not know. I do not remember. "Seppi," he yelled as 3 tiny bones landed in his hand at once. He won. Again. Now it was my turn. He threw them up in the air, lower than I had done, but they spread out in all directions. I had to scramble to make sure all landed uniformly into the palm of my right hand. I got 1, 2, but the third eluded me. "Curse," I said. Tiberius laughed. "Marcus, you cannot get any luck in this world," he said. It was my turn again, and I launched them as high as I could above us, above the stalls in the marketplace. 2 came down, but the third trailed off towards the markets and landed, I assume, with a thud on top of the roof of a stall selling silk. I hope that it didn't land on anyone's head. Our family is in enough trouble as it is. I wasn't allowed to draw attention to us. She came running over with her polished sandals and her clean tunic blowing in the breeze. She said her name was Claudia. She held the third bone in her finger, and I just thought she wanted to return it to us. She was very friendly. It was her 13th year. She was much older than us, but she still wanted to play, even though she was noble. The daughter of a senator. Her slave looked on and frowned. She turned back and said something to him in a tongue neither Tiberius nor I could understand. "It's knucklebones. You have to catch each one," I said. "I know. I used to play this when I was smaller," she said. "I haven't played it in moons. Please let me join in," she requested. She was clean, and we were not. I looked to Tiberius. He didn't seem to mind. He was still young, too young to understand the boundaries. She was not to be with us, and we were most certainly not to be with her. But she would have been offended if I had said no. An offense can cost you, sometimes fatally. I nodded my head, and we all sat on the dirt floor. I looked at her tunic and wondered why she allowed herself to get it ruined like that. "It's okay, I have plenty more," she assured me. Since she just joined in, I handed her the other bones and she launched them up in the air. All of a sudden it was Tiberius versus me for the 3. Whoever caught more than the other would win. I landed 2 in my palm and Tiberius caught the third. I won. Finally a victory. Claudia had brought me good luck. "My charm," I said to her. She blushed. Tiberius scoffed. "Go again," he said. "It's your turn to throw," I reminded. "Loser throws." He held out his palm for me to hand over the 2 I had. He snatched them out and threw them up in the air as high as they would go. It was me versus Claudia. The bones came down with force. I had lined up 2 in my sights, but I could sense she had also. Her body pressed closer to mine, our shoulders rubbing up against one another. We had just broken a sacred covenant. We were not to touch. Not someone like her with someone like me. I felt arms around my neck before the bones had landed. I was snatched away by someone just as I was about to make a grab. I saw, just in time, all 3 bones land in her hand, and she raised a fist in victory. "You share your time with these street rats," the voice that held me berated Claudia. She lowered her head in shame. I was placed against the wall opposite and demanded that my hands be held in place. A stall owner held them against the sandstone. I was to be flogged. I should have known better. I turned to look for Tiberius and Claudia. Both were missing. I assumed Claudia was off with her slave, going back home with her escort. I had hoped Tiberius was safe. I could not tell. A crowd had gathered, some protesters. "Let him go, he's just a kid," I heard some of them say. He was cavorting with the daughter of a nobleman, a senator. They touched one another. "He is to be punished according to the law of Caesar," the voice explained. I was to be whipped. I had never been whipped before. I felt a tear stream down my cheek, my fear taking over. The belt was loosened from around the waist of the one to deliver justice. I never got a look at his face. I would grow old not knowing who it was who administered my punishment on this day. Even when I would later take the reins of power and be crowned emperor, no matter how much inquiry I gave the topic, I was never able to locate my captor, my decision-maker. No one willing to step forward when the shoe was on the other foot and accept justice for themselves, although happy to deliver it out to me when I was of such a young age. 7 lashes he gave me. 7 lashes for a change in trajectory. A life made in that moment. A path placed before me, one that became clear once I woke up from passing out. I was to excel, succeed, and avenge the justice that was delivered to me on this day. But my justice was alluded to, never fulfilled. I often wonder what would happen if given the chance to inflict my pain onto them. Was the pursuit of power worth such an act? What then of my power once my revenge was had? I wonder.
For more stories of fact-based fiction, head to jimmins.substack.com.